Okay, round 2 here on stream number 2 in Wigan, and things are starting to progress. Let's have a little look at Lewy Williams of Wales, and he's up against Dimitri Vandenberg.
Dimitri to throw for the ball.
A very interesting game here, where you would fancy Dimitri Vandenberg to be the heavy favourite in this one, but at the minute, I suppose
25.
the jury is out on Dimitri. Is that right, Mark?
Yeah, you'd have to say so. It's
bullseye. Lewy's won the ball.
Mixed reaction to the way he performed at the end
Lewy
of the year. Unlucky to withdraw from the Grand Slam. Look, he played well at the Worlds, but lost in his first match against Florian Hempel. He averaged 102, and then a steady performance at the Masters as well, lost to Johnny Clayton. But look, he's been unlucky with the restructure of the Premier League. That's 10 players. Dimitri gets another run at that, I'm convinced. He was so unlucky to miss the playoffs last year, but he's just got to go again now. He started winning on the floor, which is always his sort of downside. Dimitri, he argues, a big stage player but couldn't do it away from the stage, but he started doing that now. But look, I expect the big year again from Dimitri Vandenberg. Such a good player, added responsibility now, a father, so congratulations to Dimi for that. But he's got a big challenge on his hands here.
You're probably one of the best people to talk to about that, because when your daughter was born, one of her first trips was Dublin, wasn't it? And you had a pretty good event.
Yeah, I did, but then, did you see my form when my son was born? He stressed me out. No, it was just one of those feel-good factors. I went and I had a good little run. I had a semis, a quarter-final, the Grand Slam, but just, that added responsibility, it makes you be more responsible in the way you play darts. But do you know what? Dimitri Vandenberg's been a very mature player for years now. And he'll deal with the situation, and I've always liked what I see with the lad.
We all like what we see with Lewy as well.
96.
Doesn't find the bullseye for the 1-2-1, but maybe Vandenberg does deserve this shot at the 1-6-4 after finding that maximum. Oh boy, bullseye. And they both give the bullseye a shake.
Oh, what an effort that would have been. 344 in 6 darts. Right then, Lewy, and this. Got to tidy this up. Lewy Williams in the World Championship started similar like this against
21.
Against Gabriel Clemens in the opening leg. He made a mess of a 25 combination and he never recovered. These early parts of matches can be very important, especially to a young man like Lewy, and you can see the head shaking already. He's played a good leg and he's made a mess at the end of it. Will he get away with it?
9 scored.
Very fair to say that neither player was convincing on the single in leading up to a double there. And Lewy Williams is fortunate to have this second shot to take this first leg of the contest. That was very close. That might be kind now if he can find the top side of it.
No score.
He finds the underside of it, unfortunately, and Dimitri comes back for the break.
Paul, they were all well thrown darts, but he's shuffling along the hockey pole. You know how hard that is when you're moving back and two. But hang on, he might get another go here. It's just scrappy to say the least at the beginning. And the Dimmy's missed 5. Lewy's missed 4.
He'll be hoping he doesn't miss 4 again. In total. That's safe. And that one's home for a leg win, and that's pretty much all we want to say about that one, and I'm sure all that Lewy Williams is thinking about, because just getting that leg in the bank might have a huge ripple effect on his confidence for this game now.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've always said it, when you throw first in a leg, go up there, just hold by any means necessary, and he's done that.
65.
We're getting word of our first 9-darter of the weekend.
140.
We are hearing that Matt Campbell has hit a 9-darter, so good darts, eh?
56.
Well done, Matt Campbell. First 9-darter in the PDC. I wonder how many blockades there are for Matt Campbell in getting to round
105.
3 up against Cameron Menzies. But Vandenberg, who is one of the best counters in the game, loves to trim these finishes down to 156 instead of leaving 161. He likes to leave the 6 on the end so the bullseye is not involved. There's only one way to get this, and that's this way, not that way.
That's unlucky. He fancied that as well, but look, he's got time. Lewy will start down the bottom of the board. Another one of them. Worst case scenario. Brilliant visit from Lewy Williams. Brings him down to 132. That route, best way to go, but this time Dimitri has no problems with the doubles. Better leg from both, but it's Dimitri Vandenberg who holds through.
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit now, Mark, because I was privileged enough to watch a little bit of where Belgian darts is right now, but is it fair to say that maybe Vandenberg and Kim Huybrechts are not the best Belgian dart players we've seen to date, and that maybe Eric Claris still holds on to that because of his iconic status in the 90s?
No, for me, Dimitri Vandenberg is head and shoulders above the majority of Belgian players. Kim Huybrechts, look, he threatened the major, couldn't do it. Dimitri Vandenberg has done it. He's a big stage player. He's got the action, he's got the look, he's got the attitude, and look, it's having a knock-on effect, isn't it? Look at all the other Belgian players coming through now, and it's a similar in Wales with Gerwyn Price, Johnny Clayton. You've got the likes of Lewy Williams, Jim Williams. Jim Williams been around for a while, but to take that plunge, and it has a knock-on effect. It makes players in your country pick up darts, and yeah, Dimitri Vandenberg for me, 96, greatest Belgian player. Well, so far anyway.
What he's got on his side is time, and you're absolutely right. The responsibility that he has shown as the Belgian captain, trying to negotiate television deals with Belgian networks, you know, taking that responsibility, that's an incredible thing. Can he produce an incredible thing here? Now, on the other streaming board, not so long ago, Simon Whitlock went 19s first on this 114, and it's becoming more popular. Now, does he go 45 bull here or 57 for 38? Now, was that the right play?
Well, not for me. He's blocked the target. 98. Look, he tidies it up. I mean, I'm not a fan of that way on 140 anyway, but I get it. You can pepper the same target. But Dimitri Vandenberg, normally pretty clinical on the double 18. This is always the downside. Good finish. Dimitri Vandenberg, I have to say, has been the better of the two players, deservedly leads. Lewy Williams, who stuttered in the first leg, will now sees his throw broken. Vandenberg taking command.
Talking a little bit more about Belgian darts, because I think 91. We spend a lot of time talking about Dutch darts and German darts, but has Belgian darts ever been in a better place, considering how many players are on tour now? We've got Mario van der Behare now, we've got Kim Huybrechts, who's been on tour constantly since 2011. Dimitri, of course. We've seen a little bit of Foxy today, Kiet de Vos, and there's plenty more where that came from, isn't there?
Yeah.
140
as well, who got his talk. I was seeded 1 at the Lakeside World Championships, but obviously I'm not sure. I think he's going to compete, isn't he? I know Ross Montgomery's not going to.
Yeah, Brian Roman is going to be there, so it'll be really interesting to see if one of those players who has a tour card goes and wins that tournament and then brings the trophy back to where they play their mainstream stuff. It's going to promote debate in the spring, that's for sure.
Can only be a good thing going forward, though. Both players had pretty routine victories in the first round. Lewy Williams beat Jason Heaver 6-4. Dimitri Vandenberg beat Ian White 6-2. He beat Ian White at the Masters as well in the first round 6-1. Ian White, big year ahead. He's lost his comfort blanket of the European Tour. He's rarely been off it. Well, he's not on it at the minute as a seed. Work to be done for Ian White in probably the most testing time of his career within the PDC.
I'd have to agree with that.
84.
Something has to be found for Ian White, whether it's a confidence or maybe a change of kit that just unlocks something. Speaking of unlocking, the halfway point beckons for Dimitri Vandenberg if he finds double 16. It's really tidy, and the composure of that finish is one of the reasons why we love watching this young man so much, because we can get carried away with quick players these days, but He took his time,
140.
and everything was in rhythm there, in his own rhythm. It looked so good.
Yeah, I think you summed it up there. It's been tidy since the first leg from Dimitri Vandenberg. He said he missed 5 darts in the opening
96.
leg. But from there on in, it's pretty much been all Dimitri Vandenberg. And Lewy Williams, this is a big leg for him now. You drop another breaker throw here, it's a long way back.
140.
Liverpool Premier League was, of course, on Thursday night. You were there, Mark. And Liverpool is where Lewy Williams hails from these days. He's Welsh, as everybody knows, but he does live most of the time
180.
in Liverpool. His other half, Lauren, is from Kent, down in the Maidstone area, so I'm sure he's getting to know the motorways and the train networks pretty
140.
Yeah, Lewy Williams. Still got his Welsh accent, though. Just like myself, strong Welsh accent. But no, Lewy Williams, a good debut year last year. Getting to the European Championship finals. Look, he rode his luck a bit, but he had to defeat Christoph Ratajski in one of his good runs. And set up a match with Jose de Souza, and that's a much tidier leg from Lewy Williams, and culminated in a debut at the World Championship. A steady first year, but like I said, you always aim to improve, and he'll want to improve this year.
125.
You know that 11 darters are beckoning when it comes to Lewy Williams, because he has a personal best average in a PDC match of 117. Now,
96.
when you and I were winning titles in the PDC, that wasn't happening with a lot of players. There was a lot of chitter-chatter around the room saying, I just averaged such and such. But with Dart Connect these days, we have a lot more accurate information, and I think we can take something from people's personal bests. And when he's attaining 117, if he can find that magic
83.
C word, the consistency, there is a lot in his future, and maybe to the same degree of what Dimitri has done.
Yeah, I mean, he shows a lot more emotion than Dimitri to good darts and bad darts. Dimitri's just, look, he's the complete player, isn't he? He's a great advert for the sport, and Lewy Williams could take a leaf out of Dimitri's book. But Lewy Williams, like I said, is relatively new to the PDC circuit. He will learn, and the best way to learn is on the job, and he's getting valuable experience playing Dimitri Vandenberg here. Like I said, he made the Worlds, had a good victory in his first round against Toyokazu Shibata, and yes, it was a favourable draw, but you've still got to go up there and perform. He averaged 93.
Got a really interesting point of view when it comes to Lewy Williams, which we'll talk about in the next leg. Is it going to be 3-3, or is Vandenberg going to find the 60 from the angle for tops? Didn't give that one enough air.
60.
So Williams looking for the bull. 25 is a good consolation prize here. Well, that one is a bit of a lucky miss in some way of speaking, because now he's got the luxury of 25 and bull, but you've got to go quite high on this shot. Oh, he's got the bullseye.
25.
Wow. Now you can't finish 25 with one dot. We all know that. And a wry smile from the Welshman.
Just got to lay out. But look, 60 isn't a gimme. It's more favourable to players whose darts sit down, can get awkward. There's always a little bit of movement. That's an okay dart, though, to be fair. That one isn't.
Game shot.
Good composure from Dimitri. And they hurt as well, because when you see your opponent have a flyer, you think he's a bit edgy, but good tidy up from Dimitri Vandenberg and restores the 2-leg buffer.
You know when you play local darts, Mark, and you have a shot for tops that high, you know all your mates say, good guide.
Good guide.
85.
Well, that certainly wasn't.
Well, the point I was going to make for Lewy Williams, because he was extremely disappointed with that World Championship second round performance, where he averaged in
57.
the mid-70s. And in order just to fluff his confidence a little bit, I reminded him that 12 months previous to that, a certain Callan Ridds had a very similar
96.
performance against James Wade, and look what he did 12 months later. And all of a sudden Lewy was thinking, yep, you take those on the chin, you learn and you move on, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I spoke to Lewy over social media. I've never met Lewy, actually. I've never spoken to him face to face, but we spoke over social media, and he admitted he never recovered from the opening leg. He could have won the opening leg on throw with a 1-4-1 finish. Then he messed around on the 24 for a while, dropped his throw, and from there it was one-way traffic.
55.
And that will come, but it is one of the hardest traits in the sport, to forget about a leg that you should have won, that gets away from you, and people like Peter Wright, Mervyn King are the masters of that. And you've just got to dust it from your memory. And like I said, Lewy Williams will learn. He's got time.
Good switching from the man
95.
from Liverpool. Leaves the 170, which equalises Vandenberg's position, but there you can see from our graphic, only 9 darts thrown for Vandenberg, so he's stolen the throw, and he might be stealing the leg.
145.
Now, the way has been shown. Can he find his way to the finishing gate? Unfortunately, he comes up short, and Vandenberg has got a look at 25,
140.
which was less than convincing a little bit earlier.
Yeah, this... I don't want to say if it's effectively match darts, isn't it? 5-2, the double break.
Game shot.
Dimitri Vandenberg has been pretty tidy after that opening leg, and he's punished Lewy Williams and is on the verge of the last 32. Just to go through a quick review of results in the last 64. We talked about Joe Mernon's impressive display in the first round. We've got to win scrappy. He's done that. He's won again against Jamie Clark, 6-5.
180.
Michael Van Gerwen got rid of William O'Connor. Martin Lukeman got rid of Callum Ridd. So some interesting results again thrown up in round 2.
Smash is having a good weekend, isn't he? Like those qualifiers yesterday. We're going to be saying plenty of the man from the southeast of England, who has got a fabulous nickname after the Incredible Hulk, I believe. He smashed his way
65
through the qualifiers and a couple of matches today, so fair play to Smash. But there are some great games going on right now. One in particular that's caught my eye, Mark. Van der Voort Anderson of the Gary variety.
134.
Yeah, gone through the side here. And also Peter Wright, if he's going to be world number 1 today, he's going to have to do it the hard way. It's 4-2 down to Max Hopp. Max Hopp, who held on to his tour card by the skin of his teeth. A victory for Raymond Smith, but I'm led to believe Raymond wouldn't have come over. Would have put Max in Q school, and he says he doesn't want to be in that position again, and he's trying to put it right. Well, look, he's playing pretty well now. He's 4-2 up on Peter Wright, averaging around 99.
156 for the match. Left it earlier. And you will get a look at double 8 if Lewy Williams can't survive this 87. Beautiful first start. Leaves double 18. It's his turn to compose.
Big dart. Got to go, Lewy Williams. Great dart right in the corner. Tickling double 12. But credit Lewy Williams. That was a breaker throw. And I said they were effectively match darts, but look, he's got one of the breaks back. He still needs to find another one. He's got to find a hold here first, but credit Lewy Williams under all sorts of pressure. Double 9's never the easiest, but converts.
Last 2 doubles hit.
45.
A double 8 from Vandenberg and a double 9 from Williams. Both towards the northern portion. And like you said, Mark, tickling the double which is next door.
91.
That shows that they've thrown the dart with plenty of ferocity, but sometimes a bit too much ferocity can result in a bust shot. And he didn't have that luxury right there.
140.
Van der Voort's completed victory against Gary Anderson. That last leg shootout gone the way of the Dutchman. He's had a good 48 hours, Vincent Van der Voort. 24 hours, I should say. Got through both the European tours last night. And into round 3 here.
The Germans are going to love that, aren't they?
180.
Getting to sing his walk-on song. How much are they going to see of Dimitri this year? Williams needs big numbers here. Is he going to try and find the gap between these two darts, or is he going to switch?
99.
He's indecisive. I think it was the right shot. There wasn't a great deal of room, but Dimitri Vandenberg potentially 6 darts away from the last 32.
60.
Jose Justicia or Go on, Paul. Educate me.
Ricardo Pietreczko.
Ricardo Pietreczko weight in the second round.
10 out of 10 for that one. That
Third round.
139.
very good. It does take a bit of practice, that one. But just call him Pikachu, because that's his nickname.
That's easier. Dimitri Vandenberg still got work to do here.
60.
This game's not over. Williams will be full of beans if he can find 20 in tops. That might be kind. If he can just glide off the top of it.
58.
Didn't give it enough. And Vandenberg's effort at 110, for me, should have been something smaller than this.
Yeah, he's already pinned it in the mat so far, and this was his route. And this time, to complete the match. We see this from Dimitri. Deep breath, bit of composure. To complete the job on a spirited performance from Lewy Williams. No. More opportunities for Lewy incoming. Got to go. And then he's only one break away from leveling the match.
You can sense the tension here.
Game shot.
No tension will exist now in leg 9 because leg 9 is done. So it's up to Vandenberg to serve it out and Williams to remain on the attack. He's got to be like a predator in the Serengeti.
39.
If anything is found on the ground, he's got to gobble it up.
Well, he's got an opening already, Lewy Williams. Another one would really give Dimitri something to ponder.
134.
He's covering well, Lewy Williams. Dug himself out of a real hole here.
We've got some really interesting games coming your way, and whatever you're doing this afternoon, just make sure you're with PDC
95.
TV for the rest of today's play, because over on stream number 1 you've got Kim Hybrechts against Steve Haggerty, one of the guys who is performing
96.
some alternate duties this weekend. He's going to be up against Dimitri's World Cup partner, but on this board we've talked about Justicia against Pietreczko, but after that it's going to be
180.
Cullen versus Van der Voort. But you may choose the other board, and if you do, I don't blame you, because it's either Raymond van Barneveld or Brian Raman against Michael van Gerwen.
171.
Spoil for choice wherever you go. And Lewy Williams is making his move here. Peter Wright, incidentally, is level with Max Hopp now, 4 legs apiece. Hopp's regressed slightly. His average has dropped about 9 points since the scoreline of 4-2.
If Lewy Williams takes this 100 out in either 2 or 3 darts, the last 6 or 5 will have been world class. Tops for 5-5. There's a bit of swagger about him right there. I like that, because he believes tops is going to be hit. He was right. 271 in 5 darts. Practice that all day long at home, but you will only see that from world-class talents, of which both of these guys are. But Williams has got a chance.
Well, he's a favourite now, big chance, and at 5-2, I feared for him. He was 5-2 down, but it was a double break. And when Dimitri Vandenberg gets positions of that luxury, you expect him to finish the job. He's had a match start, but Lewy Williams is taking advantage here. A maximum start, and there's the swagger from Lewy Williams. Very impressed with this young man to dig himself out of a hole. Can he complete the job? He's put himself in a great position.
96.
He's been flawless in the last 8 darts. He hasn't missed a shot. He's afforded maybe a couple of misses, but he's been a bit like a wound-up toy mark. In the middle of the game, he was losing energy, but somebody's pulled the cord because he's found something. And when you're in a one-leg shootout, to win a match against a fancied player like Vandenberg,
96.
and you come up with 5 trebles from 6 darts, that's amazing.
It's brilliant darts from Lewy Williams, and we go back to Paul, leg 8. That dart right in the corner of double 9 could easily have bust. Dimitri Vandenberg waiting to finish the job 6-2, but as it stands now, Lewy Williams is heading to the last 32.
57. That is extraordinary counting from Vandenberg. World-class maths. But it might not make any difference because Williams has got the bull himself to win it.
98.
And even if Vandenberg doesn't poke this 170, this isn't done. Lewy Williams won't relish that 25. He'd have hoping to have a bit more of a buffer than this, but, well, he may not get a go. What a shot this would be. This would hurt. And what an effort from Dimitri Vandenberg. But Lewy Williams will be edgy going for this 25. Big visit coming up for the Welshman.
Big chance. You couldn't split them. But can they be split at the very end? You can feel the tension. You can see it. Can he take double 8? From the angle. It's not there, and Vandenberg can do nothing but survive this game. He's had one match start at the Bull. And boy, this has been a good game.
Yeah, Lewy Williams can't believe what's happening. Started the leg with a 180. Look, he may not be done yet. He isn't done yet. The Vandenberg's now missed 3 for the match. Lewy's missed 2. Well, missed 3 as well. He had a dart at the Bull. They missed 3 each in this leg. Vandenberg had a poke earlier on in the match as well. So that's actually 4. But Lewy Williams to crawl over the line. It's been a great performance, a great game from both. But 3 more incoming for Lewy.
Double 4 for him. Double 2. And Dimitri is gone from this tournament. It's not just brilliant darts that we see, it's misses for the match that also bring the tension. The standard of the game was in question after leg 1, but you can see what that means to Lewy Williams. He worked so hard for it, and both deserve credit for the way